morning, it's Tom here. Thanks for joining me. One of my favourite stories relates to the poet laureate Sir John Betjeman, who once showed up at a lecture on the joy of reading, and the academic giving the speech, who spotted the great man looking slightly mournful at the back afterwards, asked him if he was okay and got the reply, "I thought it would be about the joy of reading." Now, reading may not be everyone's idea of a destination for a journey out, but when it comes to beer, it is actually one of my favourite places in the UK, Reading and the surrounding areas. I'd been there once before. I actually had a long walk along the river from Pangbourne, visited Siren Craft, of which more later, visited the Nag's Head, which is an absolutely amazing pub, and also happened to be going past the late lamented Phantom Brewery, now unfortunately no longer in existence. So I thought it was about time that I went to Reading again, and this video is about a very good day out and the fun that I had. So thanks for joining me. So hi, here I am in Reading with my passport. Most of the passport venues are London, but there's a few outside to the west. There's some in Windsor, and there's also now a cluster in Reading. I'm at probably one of the greatest UK craft breweries, Siren Craft, which was put together in 2013. Famous for uniformly amazing beer, especially the Broken Dream Breakfast Stout that really made their name, and also for the very, very stylish artwork you get on their beer. This is a delicious pint of Soundwave IPA. I'm having a pint here that's with the passport you get a free pint, and I'm then going to head on to some of the other Reading venues later. Okay, so I've left Siren Craft and I've walked down a few streets to the south of Reading, and immediately it kind of brightens up a bit. The area around Siren Craft's main bar in Reading Town Centre is not that stunning, but as you see, we're in a yard with a very lovely church, and, more to the point, over here we have my next stopping point, which is Zerodegrees microbrewery. Okay, so while I was here, I noticed that Zerodegrees, the microbrewery, have opened an outlet in Reading, and it's on the passport. So look, big, good, stylish bar, and the deal is a half-price flight. So here I've got their mango, which is their famous one, the black lager, which I've had before and I remember being really good, and also the American pale. So really good value in terms of a half-price flight, and looking forward to this. Okay, you now find me in real craft beer territory. This is an industrial estate in Finch Hampstead. It was about a 45-minute local bus ride out of Reading. Now, just walking up here to the place where Siren Craft started, it's, if you look behind me, then it's right there. It's actually doing an absolutely thriving business on a Saturday afternoon, which I guess is not surprising because it's pretty famous. Quite a few people driving up in their cars, which is weird. I'm really guessing they're going to be really restrained. But yeah, this is the Siren Craft tap room, but I'm not going here. I'm actually going to walk across to the other side of this particular car park. It's over here is a tap room that I've been meaning to visit for a long time. I've had their beers, but I've never been here because they're only really open weekends, and it's not the most convenient of journeys. Now, they are called Elusive, set up in 2016 by a guy called Andy Parker, who I feel I have common ground with because he also used to as a teenager code programmed on his BBC Micro. But here they are. Elusive Brewery, renowned for their West Coast style IPAs, and I'm going to go in and have some. So let's go. Here we are. This is Elusive. Lovely, lovely, thriving little basic tap room. So games along one wall. Lots of families and lovely beer. This is the Kronos Pale Ale, which is a new one that I'm starting with before I go through the whole set. So basically, killing a candy store here, because there's all the Elusive beers I've heard of and various others that I haven't. So after Kronos, I'm probably going for Level Up Red Ale, the one I had at GBBF, which was amazing, probably the best red ale I've ever had. Oregon Trail, obviously. They've got a stout called Transit, which looks quite alluring. They've also got an Imperial stout called Heliosphere, and, you know, whether I need any more Imperial stouts is another question. But with these guys, you just know it's going to be really good. They also have slightly sort of counterintuitively for Elusive, they've got a New England pale called Distant Fog. I can't remember whether that was the one I served to my friends on the boat to see whether they preferred East Coast or West Coast. But I'm sure it will be very good. But you come to Elusive, you drink West Coasts, you drink classic American style IPAs, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, work through the menu at Elusive now, feeling good. So, what do you do after you've had a good load of beers from the tap room? You go for food. Unfortunately, outside Elusive, we have the Funky Pickle Company. So, a bit of poutine, giving me fond memories of my visit to Montreal in 1994. And I think that's kind of it for the day. See you soon.